first thing you notice about the big shaver is that the handle...
1. Eating at the same time. Every day.
Fix the propeller yet, Sonny?
It fell off, Gramps. How do we get home?
Hey, I know. Sonny can't resist Cocoa Puffs because Cocoa Puffs make breakfast taste like chocolate. With Sonny down there, we don't need a propeller.
Yahoo!
In the 1970s, every household ran like a small military operation when it came to meal times. Breakfast was when the cereal commercial ended, lunch was whenever Mom yelled out the back door, and dinner happened the second the streetlights flickered on. No questions asked. And heaven help you if you wandered into the kitchen at 4 p.m. looking for a snack. But here's the amazing part. That old-school predictability was quietly keeping everyone balanced. Your body absolutely loves routine. Steady meal times help digestion, energy, and even sleep without you doing anything fancy. Back then, it was just, eat when Mom said to. Today, apparently it's a wellness trend. 2. Walking everywhere. In the 70s, the idea of getting driven somewhere was a luxury reserved for blizzards, medical emergencies, and the time Dad couldn't find his keys. We walked to school, to the store, to a friend's house, across the whole neighborhood because someone thought they heard the ice cream truck. We didn't call it cardio or getting our steps in. It was simply how life worked when bikes, sidewalks, and mall entrances were practically built for kids with pockets full of quarters. And now, every study on Earth says those little bursts of walking are one of the easiest ways to stay healthy after 60. Turns out our childhood transportation system was also a fitness program. 3. Cooking most meals at home.
Irene! Pride of the neighborhood bake sales. With canned frosting?
Shh, Louise, keep it down. It's spread so much easier than my homemade, it's ridiculous.
Yeah?
And creamy.
Yeah?
If you were alive in the 1970s, you ate at home most nights, not because we were health conscious, but because eating out was for birthdays, anniversaries, and when Mom was 2 seconds away from losing her mind. We had crock pots bubbling on the counter, casseroles wrapped in foil, Betty Crocker cookbooks stacked on the fridge, and that one mixing bowl every family had. And the funny thing, home cooking, even the simple stuff, naturally kept meals balanced. You weren't counting macros, you were stretching the budget and using what was in the pantry. Today, every doctor says the same thing. Home cooking lowers stress, saves money, and keeps things steady. 4. Hanging laundry. Outside. Remember the backyard clotheslines? The ones that stretched from the porch to a metal pole that looked like it had been installed by a previous civilization? There was nothing like the sight or the sound of laundry flapping in the breeze. Hanging clothes wasn't just a chore, it was a quiet moment outside, breathing fresh air, getting a little gentle movement, and letting the sun do half the work. And guess what? That slow, simple rhythm is practically therapy now. Sunshine, stretching, and the smell of warm cotton in the wind. Turns out, Mom was running a spa without even knowing it. 5. Calling friends just because.
Come on, 3 bad, 1 down. Sorry, Charlie. Hello?
Before texts, before emails, before the existential dread of the 3 dots typing bubble, we had real phone calls. Long, winding, wandering conversations from a wall-mounted phone with a cord so long it could wrap around the entire kitchen. We called friends just because we felt like talking. There was no script, no plan, no "is now a good time." You just dialed and hoped they answered. And those connections, the laughter, the updates, the silly stories. Now we know the truth. Social connection is one of the strongest longevity boosters on Earth. And somehow, a 1970s rotary phone beat modern wellness apps to the finish line. All right, real talk. If you've watched more of my videos than the number of times you yelled, "Don't slam the screen door" back in the 70s, it might be time to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep serving the nostalgia. You just tap the button and we'll call it even. And if you're on Facebook, come join the retro reunion we've got going over there. The jokes, the memories, the "I totally forgot about that" moments, plus at least one person still arguing about which casserole dish was the best one. 6. Doing one thing at a time. Believe it or not, in the 70s, multitasking wasn't a personality trait. You read the paper, or you knitted, or you shelled peas, or you watched TV. One thing at a time, not 12. If you were eating, you were eating. If you were sewing, you were sewing. If you were watching The Carol Burnett Show, you were watching it, not scrolling a phone or juggling 5 tabs. That slower pace wasn't laziness, it was sanity. Today, psychologists say that multitasking spikes stress, fractures your attention, and exhausts the brain. Meanwhile, your 1970s self was unknowingly practicing mindfulness decades before it had a cute name. 7. Going outside every day. Back in the 1970s, you didn't stay inside unless you were sick, grounded, or it was literally raining sideways. The outdoors was the default setting. Front yards, backyards, porches, parks, sidewalks, picnics, snow days, leaf piles. Every season got used. Even 5 minutes outside did wonders without us realizing it. Fresh air cleared your head. Sunlight set your body clock. Movement lifted your mood. We didn't analyze it, we just lived it. Today, wellness experts tell us the same thing with much fancier words: natural light exposure, circadian rhythm support, and mood regulation. In the 70s, it was simply go play. 8. Keeping a simple home routine.
Morning, madam. We're clean.
And shine.
We're new from Johnson.
How do you do?
We're the foam that cleans.
And shine.
Almost everything in the house.
But everything's different.
Not to us. We do chrome, tile, glass.
Vinyl, wood.
Spray us on, wipe us off.
Remember those predictable mornings. Make the bed, brush your teeth, straighten the living room, do a quick wipe of the counter. Nothing complicated, just the gentle rhythm of a household. We had cleaning commercials that made dusting look glamorous.
I'm gonna get a haircut.
Haircut? You cut off one lock of that hair, and I'll strip your gears.
Morning grooming rituals that felt oddly calming, and weekly habits that kept life soft around the edges. Today, therapists call this anchors, routines that steady the mind. But back in the 1970s, it was just homemaking, and it quietly kept everyone sane. 9. Laughing more, complaining less.
I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am, but we have a new trainee on the job today. I'm her trainer.
Somehow, the 1970s made everything funnier. The sitcoms were sillier, the commercials were cheesier, and even family gatherings had that one uncle who could make the entire room wheeze with laughter. We weren't doom-scrolling or drowning in bad news. Humor came easy. Slapstick, jokes, pranks, the kind of laughter that makes your ribs hurt. And here's the secret. Laughter actually lowers stress hormones, boosts mood, and helps with resilience. Turns out the Carol Burnett Show was more therapeutic than anyone realized. 10. Letting small things go because we had to. The 1970s were full of little disasters. Burnt casseroles, toys that broke right out of the box, mail that took 6 days longer than promised, and weather that canceled every plan. But life kept moving, and we learned something important. Shrug it off, laugh it off, or fix it tomorrow. That easygoing, adaptable 1970s attitude wasn't weakness, it was resilience. And today, that same mindset is pure gold. Let the little stuff roll off your back. You practiced it your whole childhood without ever realizing it. And there you have it, 10 little 1970s habits we barely even thought about at the time, but that somehow turned out to be the exact things that make life feel good, steady, and peaceful today. Funny how that works, right? We weren't trying to be healthy, mindful, or balanced. We were just living. But maybe that's the whole lesson. Sometimes the simplest routines, the ones wrapped in nostalgia and ordinary moments, are the ones that stick with us and keep us grounded decades later. So here's to the cereal commercials, the rotary phones, the outdoor playtime, and the casseroles that got a little too crispy on the edges. They shaped us more than we knew, and maybe they still do.